Hey my little sparklights, GT Starlight Sparkle here, shining on, starting a new intro. So today we're going to talk a little bit about mental health and then my journey and how I cope with it, and little tidbits on how you can find little helps for yourself. Alright, thank you for joining me today. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and also feel free to share this video with your friends. Alright, so again, cue the intro. Hey, welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed that little intro. So changing things up a little bit on the page. So again, today we're talking about mental health. And so this is a little bit along my story of how I cope with mental health and the path that I've been on. Because, like most people, I deal with depression as well. And apparently anxiety also. So I have been doing a couple little studies here and there in the online test to figure out what kind of person I am. And for my personality type, I have found that I am extremely on the far rare 1% type of personality. So extremely intuitive and introverted. And then along with those things, I am not, a typical alpha, beta, male personality type either. And so, I am on an extreme, in tune with my emotions, in tune with my femininity, and also, just in tune with my emotions and my femininity. So it's really quite unique. That I'm part of that percentile, and I don't know if that contributes to who I am, because I'm pretty sure there are others out there, even though it's part of the 1%, but I'm pretty sure there's still others that feel in their masculine forms and not so much far in tune with their feminine side as, I am. So I don't put that as to blame as to my journey and my path, but along the other side of things, keeping with the mental health talks. So I have my background, other than being a 1% in my personality type. So recently, I guess in 2000s, I was deep into aerobics, fitness, choreography, music, and dance. So I wrote a lot of music. I mixed a lot of music and did a lot of choreography for different dance teams, and also was working with LA Fitness and 24 Hour Fitness, helping them. Well, 24 Hour Fitness was a little bit later, about in 2002, but I was with LA Fitness, and I was gearing and creating different routines for their clubs in the Orange County region. So I created and helped guide the Latin moves, dance routines, and the aerobic classes, integrating Latin music. And I also did hip-hop classes as well at the LA Fitnesses out there. So Latin and hip-hop, and then also merged the two, creating a Latin hip-hop moves, groove kind of thing that was new at that time. That was before Zumba as well. As you can tell if you did your research on Zumba. But then I met somebody and I was extremely happy with them. We had great times. We were together for 2 years, and eventually I went ahead to ask them to marry me, to find out that they were cheating on me, and they didn't want to get married. They were just living their life. It was young 20s, so nothing to really be too spiteful over, but nonetheless, it was hard, and it threw me into a huge depression slump. So for myself, I am the type of person who had never smoked, never, like, I don't really drink that frequently, but after that event, someone that I was with for 2 years and I really cared about and wanted to build a future with, really threw me into a deep, hard spiral. All my friends, they smoke and drink heavily, so I just said, forget it. And so I fell into that deep depression. And I had friends, luckily for myself, I had friends to help me out, pull me out of things. And, having someone to talk to is extremely critical and crucial. It has been a scientifically proven fact that talking to people helps us cope and move forward and feel better. That's why, ultimately, this is why the Catholic religion has the confessionaries, and the confessions is for people to be able to talk out their problems. It's free therapy. And on the other end of that, with Catholicism, you get redeemed for your sins, right? So, but without that, ultimately, the reason why they do it is for mental health, is to help people cope and to move forward. And the things that people don't realize is that in most states, with your basic medical plan, you get treatment for free or very minimal copay, $20 per visit or even less than that. So having a psychologist to speak to, it does not cost that much. So I'm going to leave a couple of phone numbers and some links to some mental health. For me, I have friends and my Catholic religion, but I also utilize BetterHelp. I found a great therapist who actually lives here in Las Vegas, and they are a part of the LGBTQ plus community, which is also awesome, and it's through the BetterHelp app, so it's really helpful. That app is a little bit, it does cost some money for the app, but there are ways also to utilize your medical plan to get it for free. But again, you do get the mental health treatment that you need for free, so you don't have to go out and go through anything alone. So again, at that time, I had my friends helping me out and cope through things and help me turn around. At that time, like I said, I went through a deep slump. I actually started smoking and had cigarettes, and I'd go through like a pack in 2 days, which going from not smoking to smoking, that was extremely, really, really bad. But on the other side too, I was doing like ultralights. I didn't do like reds or anything like that. It was Marble ultralights, the nice silver package in the 100s. But then I did stop. And again, also I'm not sponsored by anybody, so I chose BetterHelp because it's someone that's helped me along my path and my journey. There are plenty of other app services, online services, and again, there are free services through your medical providers as well. Okay, so you don't have to go through BetterHelp. They're not paying me to use them or say their name on here. It's just my personal choice that I found that's helped for me. I've used 3 online mental psychologists, and BetterHelp has been the most simplest and the friendliest and most LGBTQ plus friendly that I've found. And that's just my experience. A little bit back on track. So then I had a friend who was really helpful. She was there for me, and we turned things around. I was back on track writing music. I actually wrote an album. I have a full album of my own music. And that was released in 2004. So coming up on its 20th anniversary. So I am now going to remaster all those songs and re-record those. So in my more, in this new, in my true self, so I'm going to re-record those songs and remaster them, remix them. And so it's going to be quite the journey because I've lost a lot of the originals because I've changed computers, and my original WAV files and MIDI files I no longer have at the moment. I can't seem to find them. I've misplaced them or completely have lost them. So a lot of it's going to be rewritten anyways, and then also remastered and rewritten from memory and from my head. And then I'm going to create some new content, some new music. So I'm going to have a new song for my intro, and for my channel here, I'm creating a new song for this. But you know, they really helped me cope and get through things. But for some reason, I fell into the trap and fell into a toxic relationship again. Not seeing that it was so toxic though, because my ex had come home and ruined my friendships, and just like slandered my name and ruined my friendships from that time frame. So then I was lost and alone again, but I wasn't as depressed because I still had myself and my music, and at that time a little bit of video gaming as well. My gaming culture, they were there for me and helped me out. But then I met somebody else, so I thought I was in a good place. I met someone and and just fell for them way too fast. Did not listen to anybody saying, you know, take it slower and take your time with things. But I just jumped right back into another toxic relationship, which was extremely manipulative and controlling, and even worse than the first one on how they were cheating on me. And since I already had that experience with the first relationship, I just thought, you know, humans and people can't not stop cheating. It's just our nature, like it's who we are. So I just tried to cope with it. But around this time frame 2 years ago, I said, goodbye, I'm done, I cannot do this anymore. So now I have been single for 2 years and free. And it's been quite an experience, like relearning who I am and coming to grips with who I am. And this is why the psychologist has been so helpful, and just having someone to talk to. And again, like, if you're religious or not, you know, it's nice to, you know, talk to the father, the priest, the pastor. They have outside insights just to help you, just to talk. One of the good things is just to talk. That's a very good coping mechanism to help people get through things, and even to get an outside look on things. You know, a lot of the times, you know, it's not their place to try to tell you what to do or to guide you to make decisions, but just listen. And so having somebody to listen to you and having that ear open is extremely beneficial, and it's helpful. So, you know, having friends to talk to, even if you have nobody to talk to, like this last round, after I kicked the person out and I said, I'm done, I can't do this anymore, all of the friends that we had built went on their side. I had absolutely nobody. Like, I couldn't trust my family because they were part of the problem. What they did to me was something exactly what my mom did to my father years ago. And so I could tell that they had been talking and conversing and planning this out. And so, like, everybody was just, you know, against me. And so for myself, I used hiking. So I have a coping mechanism. I use the outdoors. Like, I love being out in nature and being outdoors, and being an introvert, this was one of the best things to happen to me, hands down, just because I had solitude and silence all to myself. And being with nature was so just freeing. It was extremely nice to have nature and just being out there and having just being able to be in tune with Mother Nature, with myself, and with the source. So, like, I'm not super religious, but I'm extremely spiritual, and there's always going to be some kind of overpowering source that started everything and that we go back towards, and that connects us with everyone else in the universe, and especially on this planet. But just having that time to myself helped me recenter myself, find myself. And then now I have super amazing friends who are there for me, like no matter what. They're always there. They're to talk to. They even message me when I don't least expect it. It's been so great having these amazing people in my life, other than my stuffies. So of course, little Croppy is always fun. And I love like little stuffed animals and little stuffies. They're always here and around. But again, I have great friends and great people in my life, and you know, being able to talk and cope and work through problems and issues. Don't go through it alone. And also watch for the signs. There are always little tidbits when people pull back a little more or are more silent. That's a cue to watch out for. All right. So numbers right down here if you need someone to talk to. And again, most states do mental health for free. Try out BetterHelp or any of the other apps or whatever works best for you. But ultimately, the number down below is instant and fast. All right, guys. Again, be safe out there. Be your true self. Don't be afraid to be you. And I am Gigi Starlight Sparkle. We are sparking out.